M3 carries a heritage that will turn 30 in 2015, and I've had some pretty special experiences in previous generations. I did the majority of my performance driving training in the E46 M3, and a few years ago I made a high-speed, trans-European trip in the E90, painted in a sinister black that prompted Belgian police to pull me over on suspicion of being a gun smuggler. I was tempted to say there was some serious weaponry under the bonnet but thought better of it. My expectations, then, are elevated for this new, 5th generation BMW M3, which even carries its own codename, F80 to the F33 series sedan, where the previous models shared with the donor cars. M3 engines started as a 4-cylinder, E30, growing to straight 6s for E36 and E46, before hitting the V8 configuration for E90/E92 last time out. Most readers will know by now that instead of growing into a V10, the latest M3 reverts to a 6-cylinder, but with turbocharging, multiplied by 2, for the first time. As with its bigger brother, the twin-turbo V8 M5, it denotes a major change to the performance arm's decades-old high-revving engine philosophy. If you adore exercise-like acceleration, the new M3 monsters its predecessors for performance. It clocks up the 100 km/h mark in 4.1 seconds, 7/10 quicker even than the old V8 model. However, it's also the rolling response that startles and delights in equal measure. Accelerate through the gears with your foot flat to the floor and you'll even see the orange traction control flicker. The 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox is super quick to respond to flicks of the paddle levers. The speed of gear change is determined by the driving mode selected. There's also a separate button as before for adjusting the shift speed. Accompanying sounds are also entertaining to a point, though despite the M3 revving to 7,000 revolutions per minute and having its engine note piped into the cabin via the audio speakers, as with the M5, it can't match the addictive tune performed by the previous model's V8. However, a BMW M3 has always been about the chassis primarily, and it's no good being quicker between corners than before if things go pear-shaped when the bitumen starts to veer left or right. The first, medium-speed, corner of our test track bodes well, as in response to a turn of the steering wheel the front end of the Hot Shoe 3 series is pulled towards the inside as if the apex were magnetized. S-bends further up the road confirm this is still a car with exceptional balance, and the enlarged brakes are stupendously good at scrubbing speed, as they need to be with the vastly increased pace. How well you exit corners, however, will depend on which driving mode you're in. In comfort, the stability control is especially intrusive. This is an M car, remember, and it still nibbles in Sport Plus. Combined with throttle response that is impressive for a turbo engine but still not as razor-sharp as the old V8, it sometimes presents a challenge for getting the M3's power down,